Hey, what is up everyone? It's Rich. Alright, welcome to a video. We're going to do a super fun Sunday today, but I wanted to remind everyone, you've got about 2 hours to vote for our image name. So here's the list. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. We're past the point of the 2 rows. If you want, go to my last video before the one that you're watching right now and select one of these names, and I'm going to actually create this character, and I've got some plots and schemes going. I think it's going to be really fun. We're going to have a blast. So, vote for our image, style, character name, and then I'm going to design one of these characters. And also, we cracked 13,000 subs last night or yesterday or the day before, something like that. But it's really, really cool. I want to thank everyone. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And then hit the notification bell. I usually don't say that, but more views is always better, and more subs is great. And I have a goal of where I would love to see my subs at. I have two goals. 30,000 is what I would love to get this channel up to. The next big goal will be 100K. So, all right, let's do it. We're going to look at 2 different classic image switches. Back in the day, and this is actually very, very interesting too, that I'm going to point out, is this is issue 8 of Cyberforce. Marc Silvestri ended up doing issue 25 of Spawn. That's how much more Todd had done of Spawn than Marc did of Cyberforce, although there was a 4-issue miniseries, so technically he was up to 12. So Spawn had doubled. Spawn had put out twice as many books plus 1. But yeah, so they did this event where all the image creators switch books for 1 issue. And so Todd Mcfarlane drew Cyberforce, Marc Silvestri drew Spawn, Jim Lee drew Savage Dragon. I'm going to guess Larson did Wildcats. I'm nearly sure he did. And then the other 2, but it was funny, is I literally cannot picture these books. Liefeld would have had to have done Savage Dragon. Shadowhawk, and then Jim Valentino must have done Youngblood. I don't remember those 2 books, but I'm actually going to do 3 of these videos. So today we're just going to look at Cyberforce and Spawn, and then we'll do probably Valentino and Liefeld's switch, and then we'll do the Larson Jim Lee one last. So so settle in. We're going to go in order of the book. So I'm going to leave Photoshop open, and we'll soak it all in. So we've got Ripclaw on the cover, classic Mcfarlane, Spawn, Spider-Man pose. It's actually really, really nicely done. It was interesting watching and he's saying after Marc. I guess it's because it was a shot that Silvestri had done before. But one thing I was a little disappointed in is that Todd had 4 pencilers on his book. So we'll see that when we get into the credits. But it was a little bit of a disappointment, honestly. He just wanted to get it done, apparently. But it looked great, so it's a good one. But yeah, Todd draws well, man. He has a very, very stylish look to his work, but at the end, all the rejections that he got along the way to break in really did make him a better artist. So all of his struggles, if you're out there struggling and you've hit a million walls, just remember Todd, because Todd struggled probably more than you did, and he just stuck to it and was very tenacious and eventually broke in, took all the advice that these different editors and people that turned him down gave him, forged himself into something that was hireable. And then Todd's very individualistic, and so he created his Mcfarlane look as he went along, and stuck to his guns once he had some steam and said, I'm doing it my way. Suck it. So there we go. Good for you, Todd. That's why you're my hero. All right, so here's the credits. So Mcfarlane. Oh, okay, Mcfarlane did the pencils. I'm sorry. I saw this and I thought it was 4 pencilers because I saw Capullo's name. And I'm nearly sure that both Pennington and Cleary also did pencil at times. But both of these guys had a very, very Mcfarlane style. So you've got 3 different artists that were all doing Mcfarlane kind of back then. So Eric Silvestri plot. Good. Okay, I'm actually really happy to see that Mcfarlane did pencil it, because I saw this and I was like, ah, man, come on, Todd. This is a very detailed issue, so let's get into it, or this will be fun. Oh, sorry. It's going to keep showing the last page, but just don't worry about it. These scans are a little tiny bit dull, but it'll do the trick. It's got a real nice establishing shot of like I don't know, maybe a senator or something talking, or a cop. Who knows who it is? I don't know all the returning characters. He could be the newscaster. I don't think he would have that many mics in front of him though. This is cool. This is nice. It's interesting to see Todd draw superheroes. I remember when I got this comic book thinking that Todd's structure was a little bloopy for these types of characters. It's still cool, but I mean, he definitely has a more, this will sound funny, it's more of a European term for it, but more of a grotesque style. I mean, it's just more distorted. But you know, like, this looks great. Yeah, it's really cool. Man, the inks are so wild. It's such a different style. Or never, ever really worked in this thing. I inked a book called Grifter over a guy named Mel Ruby, who Mel was doing a lot of McFarlaneisms. That's probably the closest I ever got to doing something like this. So if you look at, I think it was Grifter Volume 2. I did like the first, I think, 10 or 12 issues. But that's the closest my inks ever got to this stuff. It was hard because I just don't really draw this way with my line work. It's a very different delivery, but this is all really good. It's just very, very iconic comic stuff. I love this, the fist going away, like the arm going away from us, and I'm spacing on this guy's name. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Sorry, I'm getting a little crazy with the thing, the slidey thing. I'm trying to think, what is this guy's name? Is it Stryker? My cat says yes. I'm not reading the word balloon, so it may have said it on the page, but I don't even look at him. I don't have time for that while I'm doing the video. It's a nice boot. It's funny. I'm obsessed with boot tread, as you guys know. This is all really, really cool. He's in his boxers. Sweet dreams, Lou. Yeah, I haven't read Cyberforce in a million years, so I did like it. Honestly, it was probably my favorite team book of all the, like, initially I liked Cyberforce better than Wildcats until Travis got on it. I liked Wildcats, but it didn't fully grab my attention. He's like asleep. Jim has some very, very iconic stuff in Wildcats, though. There's some great, great shit in those like first 10 issues. Oh, it's so good. Look at that. That is such a nice headshot. Or whatever you want to call it, like just tight shot. This is great too. Man, Todd was on fire at this point. Look at that. This is great. Wow, that's really, really good. That's so cool. It's cool too. It's like totally curving. You see that it's not even just a down shot. It's like very like fish-eyed. Dude is crazy. This is nice. Allegro's alive. Heatwave to Sideblade. So this is Heatwave. Oh, okay. Heatwave. Stryker. Okay, it's Stryker. Yay. I would have never guessed that other guy's name was Heatwave, though. That I was way out of my memory banks. We got Ripclop. Yow. This is nice. It's a nice pose. Really good. Oh, that is nice. Really dynamic. Man, it would look great. I'd love to see the original board in person. That's a big, big figure. And this hand is huge. That's taking up a lot of real estate on the page. And this is killer. Look at that shot. Man, that is so good. I love the turn of the wheels, too. This is all great. God dang. This is awesome. It's such a small little bit of it. Look at the front of the car. Looks funny right there. But, yeah, this is a great little thing. I love this, too. So it's like you can see little nods to Frank Miller and Todd's stuff all over the place. I'm not saying that this issue, flipping through it, it didn't look that indicative of it. But if you look at the early issues of Spawn, I mean, you can definitely see a Frank Miller influence in Todd's work. He's got a lot of influences and then a lot of his own style, though. But yeah, this is all interesting. These guys are doing a pretty good job of making these inks look pretty seamless. It's got that kind of scratchy, organic look. And it's not like I haven't seen a page that stands out as different. It's such a rough style. This page feels a little different, honestly, to me. It's got a little bit of a different vibe. What's interesting, too, is sometimes different inkers will literally make the faces look different. The way that they ink them actually starts to change the structure of the face because of the line weights and where they put them and the thickness of the creases and all that. It can really actually add up. It's a very fragile balance to have something look just so. And I mean, again, just anything heavier or thinner or thicker or broken up, it can really make a big visual difference that you wouldn't really be able to pick up on. It wouldn't be something, it would look different. You probably, most people wouldn't understand why. I'm a professional. No. Professional fanboy is what I am. This is good. Yeah, that's really cool. It's very Silvestri. That dramatic lighting. Whoa, wait till you see Spawn 25. It's was at the time I thought it was like the greatest comic book that like had ever come out. I bought so many copies of it. I still have them too. I bet I have somewhere between 6 and 10 copies of it that I bought that day. Like when it came out, I flipped through it and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. It's my favorite book, Spawn, with Silvestri drawing it. Get out of town. I'm getting them all. And that's why Image Books sold millions of copies. Millions of copies. It was dumbasses like me stocking up. The book really sold like 100,000 copies, but it's like if everyone got 10, that's a million. And don't think that I'm joking with that. That is actually true. That's why those numbers were so high. There wasn't that many people buying comics. It's a fallacy that people try to present. Comics has been at the same rate forever. The thing that hypes it up is just, it's like when you get speculators. You get speculators buying 1,000 copies of Star Wars #1 because it's got 100 variant covers, stuff like that. The amount of fans that buy comics has been pretty consistent for 30 years. It's all bullshit. People peddling an agenda. I'm peddling an agenda. If you have an opinion on anything, then that's your agenda, right? Look at him. This doesn't look like the same inks as earlier before. It's not bad, but it looks a little like this person draws a little more cartoony. This might have been like a breakdown too, where Todd had them kind of doing finishes at this point, the get her done scenario, and so it is possible that that's kind of what's going on. The one thing I'll say with comic sales, though, is I really did believe that, like, when the new Star Wars movies came out, and I'm talking about, like, Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones and all that, I really thought that that would actually bring a lot more people into comics. Not necessarily that they were going to buy Star Wars, but that things like that, like the Marvel movies, would encourage, like, more people, like, that there should have been more of a spike than there was. For whatever reason, people that buy comics buy comics. It's like, you can love superhero movies and just never even consider going to a comic book store. And honestly, I fall into that category. I've talked about it before. The comic book store that I used to go to was actually a video game store and comic book store. And I went into it for 2 or 3 years and never once looked at a comic book before I started collecting comics. And I would rent games there all the time and go in and hang out and stuff like that. And I never, ever flipped through one single comic book until a friend of mine that worked there turned me on to Spawn. He was like, you need to come down and check out Spawn. I think you'd really like it. You're good at art. Get your ass down here and check this out. And that was it. It changed my life. That one phone call. Not even kidding. Ripclaw knows. He's like, that's crazy, Rich. One phone call about Spawn? I'm like, yes. If he wouldn't have called me, honestly, I would have never have gotten into comics. That's the serious 100% truth. I didn't even know that they still made comics. That's how oblivious I was when I would go into that store. They might as well, they could have sold candy and like just Sports Illustrated magazines. I didn't care. I was like, where are the video games? That's cool. I like that. Those gas pumps are great. It reminds me of a House of a Thousand Corpses whenever I see old gas stations. Daddy. All these superheroes have kids. What's up with that? It's like being a rock star. You shouldn't be married and you shouldn't have kids if you're a superhero. My opinion. This life's not for you. This is cool. The hair is nice. Then again, this is good inks. I can tell whoever inked this did a real nice job. And it feels like the original stuff. This could even be Todd's inks. It's a little conservative, but it's still good. It could be, you know what, it actually looks a little more like Capullo, or maybe like Todd started it. This all looks like, sometimes, honestly, there's stuff that professionals draw, and it's just easier to ink it than it is to pencil it. It'll take longer to pencil it and explain what you wanted in the pencils than it is to just grab a nib or a brush and just do it. So if Todd was passing these pages off, there's a good chance that he could have inked things on them just to get it done in the most efficient way possible. Now, Todd was really drawing great at this point, though. You can really see a confidence in his work and just a very like balls out sort of approach to it. It's pretty cool. This is great. I love Todd's stuff, man. The first 12 issues of Spawn, there's so many cool drawings in it. This is great. This reminds me of the Angela issue, just with the foliage and stuff like that. But this doesn't see, again, this looks like it was a breakdown that someone else inked and the face got sort of changed a bit. Cool superhero pose. Striker's, you know, what's funny is Mark had two characters with multiple arms, because doesn't Cyblade, doesn't she have multiple arms, or am I tripping? She might have even been this story. I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest. There's a YouTube video of a guy that has a huge toy collection. I think if you put like toy room tour, it's like a 2.5 hour video. His Spawn toy collection is amazing. And I've watched the video so many times while I'm working. I'll put it on and just watch him go through this gigantic toy room of all kinds of different stuff. But yeah, his Spawn collection is ridiculous. And it's fun to see all the different monsters and stuff that Todd's created. He knows. He's like, that's good. I would love to see his Kickstarter morph into new lines of Spawn action figures, though. Not all crowdfunded, though. I'm not really like, I didn't participate in it. I don't need that figure. But if he started doing more series of themes, I would check them out for sure. I regret that I wasn't following that stuff closer, because there's some of them are very expensive now, but there's some really cool ones that I missed out on. Okay, so now we're gonna do Spawn by Silvestri. So let's grab these. Don't peek. Don't peek. I'm good. This is amazing. Oh my god, this is so good. Alright, kids, let's do this. Alright, so the cover. Looks familiar, right? That's why Todd said after. It's interesting. Todd's like, oh, I'm just going to light box it, and then I'll just draw Ripclaw. I like that. That's so cool. The Spawn at pointy toes? I guess, I don't know. Maybe it's just the blue bleeding off. The colors are actually very nice on this cover, too. Love Marc's bats. It was interesting. I had flipped through Image Zero a couple of days ago. I hadn't looked at it in years. And kind of each, I think of the core creators did like 3 pages in it. Marc did a very, very interesting 3 pages that I had completely forgot about. And they're really cool. So if you have Image Zero, bust it out and check out the 3 Silvestri pages in it, because I thought they were really good. But they're creepy and very like non-superhero. But yeah, it was good. And if you don't have them, I can throw them into a video down the road. I'll bust them out. Maybe in the video where I announce the winner of the not the winner, but the character that I'll draw from the thing. I mean, I guess it's a winner, but so yeah, we got Bat on inks and Billy Tan. I've actually inked Billy Tan on a Green Lantern issue. Right, so we got the classic news reporters from Spawn. Marc always draws beautiful women. And Marc is actually really good. Marc has a little bit of like a Norman Rockwell vibe to some of his stuff. If you know Rockwell stuff, like the way that Marc draws pants and people's bony legs and ears and stuff like that, there's definitely a Rockwell sort of sensibility to some of that stuff. The shoes too. He draws like old time shoes. It could just be coincidental, but I don't know. I kind of think that he might be a bit of a Rockwell fan. This is really nice. The colors are very, very bright. But this is a nice reproduction of this. But look at the buildings. Man, it's so cool. And then we've got the homeless people in the alley, as always in Spawn. Todd would have probably drawn like a little bit of snot coming out of the guy's nose. Gross it up a little bit. It's a very big bottle. He's got the hard stuff, apparently. Okay. Oh yeah, this is good. This is so nice, man. This is great. The lighting on this guy's face is so cool, and then this is really, really intense. And then that is really cool. Look at how broke up all the lines are. It's really incredible. It's just little indicators of all the form. Do you see? There's almost every piece is broke apart. This isn't right here, but there's lots of gaps. Lots of gaps on this. You see this? The colors really keeps it together. It almost looks like the page wasn't erased a lot. There's like a little residue of lines. It could be the way it's colored, though.
She's looking at me now.
This is cool. And then we cut to the house. This is awesome. This is good. I don't even remember this like soft focus on her in the background. Oh man, I'm so excited to see what you guys pick. I can't wait to see. It's going to be so fun. I'm really looking forward to getting to working on the character. I created another list. I think I mentioned it in the other video. I created another list of about 50 terms that weren't on the original list. And I already have a title for something, and then a bunch of other character names. It's going to be very, very cool. So we've got a project on our hands, I have a hunch. This is cool. Really, really great. Man, those silhouettes are awesome. This is so good. This is a nice effect right here. Let's pull in on this. Yeah, maybe do you think that they actually laid Zipatone on the piece? That's trippy. I don't know. I've never seen Bat really use that. It's kind of everywhere. I don't think that could be. So it's got to be a coloring thing, man. Some pretty like avant-garde and aggressive colors. I'm assuming this is black, maybe with some kind of fade or a hard line, but yeah, the colors went to town. It looks great. Look at this. Oh man, Tremor. He's like never looked more badass. This is so good. Look at the size of this thing. It's freaking huge. Freaking. That's really cool. He's so buff, man. It's funny because, like, if your arms were that big, can you imagine trying to, like, do normal stuff, like bend your arms? It's so funny. He makes it work, though. It's cartooned perfectly, man. And then he just puts all that crazy musculature on it. That's really good. Oh, man. And for people interested in like inking and penciling videos, like learning more stuff, just check out my Patreon. I don't plug it that hard, but there's so many videos there, and there's so much of a variety of stuff. And if you want to learn, that's where I really put the educational content. Like, I mean, just this week I've uploaded a couple of, like, you know, probably 3 hours worth of inking videos. They're sped up, so you can slow it down if you want to watch it in real time, but they're narrated. I have stuff that I've shot in real time. I mean, it's just, there's all kinds of penciling lessons and breakdowns of your favorite artists' stuff. And just this last couple of weeks has been so crazy with everything going on, that I hadn't been as focused on it. But I feel like things are starting to look up, and I'm feeling more optimistic. So that'll mean more content there. So definitely check it out. For $1, you get full access, but you can tip jar higher. And there's reviews and lessons too. In fact, speaking of lessons, I'm going to be doing a 30-minute lesson through Ryan Benjamin's comic artist boot camp. So if anyone signed up for that, he's got a course coming up in 5 weeks. I'm going to be one of the guest instructors on that. So that's quite a bit more expensive than my Patreon, but still, if you're already planning on doing it, I will be involved in that that day lesson. Should be fun. He's like, it's 30 minutes. And he was like I was like, I've done like 1,000 YouTube videos. 30 minutes is nothing for me. But I don't think he follows my YouTube channel, so he probably doesn't know that I'm a professional narrator and lessoner. This is good. I know, Kitty. Bat's a really good inker, don't you think? I think he's fantastic. All right. It's like, it's so funny because it's a pretty benign shot. I mean, you've just got Spawn sort of standing here, like, and his fist is hidden, and you've got this big, gigantic chest that's about as traditionally and anatomically drawn as possible. It's like the muscles are all kind of perfect. There's like, and there's so much rendering on it. It's just so funny to me to see. It looks cool though, but it's just, you know what I mean? It's there's not a lot to it other than the fact that it's drawn really, really well, but it's pretty, this is great right here though. I actually like this, that muscle right there is really good. I always like to see how they draw the chains, if they turn them and stuff like that. I think this stuff is all really fun. Or when they twist and come at you in different angles. Not that they're all like, besides being just all side views. All right. Oh man, his salmon twitch are great. Capullo got really good at salmon twitch as he moved along. There's a couple of issues in particular when he had been drawing Spawn for 10 or 20 issues that, man, his salmon twitch got so awesome. This is great. Marc is such a good cartoonist. I love the twist of the fingers too, how they're turning, and this is great. It's fun to see him sort of channeling a little bit of that Mcfarlane thing, you know, these hyper tight shots and all that. This is great. I would love to see this page in black and white. Oh yeah, look at that. Man, that's so good. That's so cool. You like it too, Kitty? I know. Marc Silvestri is one of our favorites. This has got a little bit of a Mignola Gotham by Gaslamp feel. You think so too, Kitty? Some people will disagree. Are you laying in the sunshine? Is that what you're telling me? Don't hit the USB. That's a bad kitty. Don't do it. I hear you messing around down there. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. All right, that is awesome. And it's funny because when you see it, it almost looks like he's sitting next to like art supplies, like it's like cans of like paint brushes and stuff like that. And this could be his canvas, and he's admiring it. He's like, "What should I paint today?" Ah, I know. Spawn, come here. What is like boxes of wood? Plywood. This is cool. The hand's very simple though. The pattern on his arm makes it almost feel like it's drawn weird, but it's just the way that it looks. Like just his costume, I guess you call it. This is great. Man, that's so cool. Dude, show yourself, coward. I like how he turned the head too. You get the full circumference of the teeth, and even this, the underneath of the jaw, and these suggestion of the back teeth and inside of the mouth is all really good. That's nice too. Well, hopefully this was fun for everyone, and like I said, I'll be back in a couple hours with the results. I'll post it up probably between 1 and 2 West Coast time, somewhere around then. Maybe closer to 2, so give everyone a little bit of time to vote, because actually by the time I get this video up, I'll 2 hours after this video goes up is when I'll do it. So if you want to vote, put in a vote for what your favorite name is. They were all recommended by a list that I created, and then you took one name from one side of the list, one from the other, and there's some really funny ones, and there's ones that are cool, and it was like, then we just put them all in a big pile. We're gonna pick one. Really? Yes. Do you hear me? That's a really cool shot. Wow. That's great. It's funny. My new little thing that I want to work on is this right here. I love when people draw this like ligament that's right here. It's like, that's really cool. It's a great little part of like, yeah, I know, Kitty. We're going to put that in our stuff. Like Frazetta uses it a lot. If you ever see side views of crouch legs, he'll really pop that out. It's like tendon or something. Is it tendon, Kitty? Okay, seriously, don't push on that. You're going to get in trouble. I'm telling you. Don't. That's cool. It's very symbolic. It's like so straight up and down. It really makes you like, what? Look at it. This is cool too. Man, the cape is awesome. This is great too. Really, really good. I like he turned the head just a little bit. You've got like, this is like the center line kind of comes this way. And the tilt. It's a nice touch. And it's something to really take away from this is, you know, if you have to do a tight shot of this, turn your head a little bit. Tilt it at an angle a little bit. It's going to make it infinitely more interesting than if it was, I mean, this won't be a great example because it's still going to be turned, but you know what I mean? Like if you have it straight like this, it really is like, I mean, he draws it so well. It still looks nice, but you know, I mean, this just gives it an uneasy feeling. And also he's pulling you up this way and taking you out of the page with the sweep of it, with the way you read it. Oh my God, this is so good. Whew, Mark, this guy needs to be drawing more. That's, as much as it drives me crazy that Travis doesn't draw more, it drives me crazy that Mark doesn't draw more. I don't think about it very often though, for either of them, because it's like they're going to do what they're going to do. But those are two artists that I wish would produce more work. This is me walking away. All right, guys, if you're not going to draw, I'm just going to split. Screw you. And look, but Spawn understands why. The frustration as a fan. No, if they put something out, I'll buy it. Period. Probably multiple copies. Oh man, when Mark's Batman book comes out, if it ever does, dude, I can't wait to get that. I hope they do it in color and in black and white, because I'll buy both. And an artist edition, I'm there, or whatever. The DC books, I think, are called gallery editions. This is great. I love this too. All right, we're almost at the end of this. I hope everyone has a great day. I hope everyone's staying careful out there and whatever. But and then yeah, come back a little later today and we'll see what character I'm going to draw. There's I don't want to say any names to push people in any direction, but there's a couple that have multiple votes, and they all sound fun. I'm ready for any of them. So let's do this. All right, have a great day. Take the files from Spawn. He won't hurt you. This is a great arm, man. I love that. Wow, that is so cool. Bam. Go Mark. Okay, all right, I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.